Coming Home to California is a program that brings California teachers, children, and the state parks together. It integrates two of our state's largest educational delivery systems, the public schools and California state parks. By working together with state parks in their own particular bioregion, teachers can help their students become better acquainted with natural and cultural history. They can learn about the wonders of nature and the fascinating cultural history found in the place we identify as our home, California. We hope you'll become involved by taking advantage of the Teacher's Guide for your bioregion. California state parks provide the natural and historical gateways that give our students an appreciation and understanding of who we are. Please join us now for Coming Home to California.
California sunrise. Every 24 hours as the Earth evolves, sunlight comes racing across North America until it reaches the most easterly parts of California. Vast desert landscape with names like Colorado, Mojave, and Mono. But you know, California is so big that it takes another 30 minutes for the sun to light the whole state. 30 minutes between first light in the southeastern desert and first light in the forest-covered mountains of the north coast. Yet, California is a big place, big and biologically diverse. There's enough fascinating geology and plants and animals here to take up several lifetimes of study. But for a lot of us, these things seem remote. Most people who live in California today actually live in big cities, crowded metropolitan areas, where streets and building and traffic noise and air pollution and a whole lot of other things make it hard to appreciate the natural world. That's why the California State Park System was created, to give people a way of staying in touch with nature and with some of those places that have been especially important in California history. In fact, we have one of the world's best field laboratories right in our backyard. 1.3 million acres of public land set aside by and for the people of California. That's the California State Park System, places that belong to you and me and future generations, places we can get to know, places we can count on in a fast-changing world. Hello, I'm Dennis Weaver. And we're going to follow several groups of children on discovery trips to some of the great state parks of California. You know, more teachers and parents are getting their kids outdoors than ever before. And for young and old, it's all part of learning about the larger world around us, knowing all about the place we live in. With the help of skilled volunteers, park rangers, scientists, and Native Americans, a lot of people, particularly children, are using state parks to learn about the land they live in. These children, hiking with Ranger Stephanie Price, are among hundreds of thousands of school groups and individuals who use California state parks for educational purposes. The California State Park System is actually one of the nation's leading providers of outdoor educational programming. These children are having their first real wilderness experience, learning the names of things, sharing their wonder with an adult who cares. It doesn't take very long to learn the language of a place. Acorn, Toyin, words that mean coastal foothills, and especially chaparral, one of the most drought-adapted habitats on Earth. Wild country, kind of place that reminds you you're in the West. But believe it or not, we're inside the city limits of Los Angeles. But you could still get lost here in the Santa Monica Mountains, lost in some 150,000 acres of parklands. And despite its rugged look, these mountains are beginning to feel like home to a lot of people. Some of our largest state parks are here and offer opportunities for unexcelled nature adventures, the sort of activities that put life into the classroom curriculum. If you travel deep into the chaparral of our Santa Monica Mountains, you'll find places that capture the essence of Southern California, riparian habitats, the miracle of water in a dry land. Biologist Lee Katz specializes in the amphibians of these riparian habitats. He is among those scientists who use park setting not only for research, but also for an environment to share their enthusiasm for the outdoors. For Lee, naming things is an important step in understanding where you are.
What do you think this is?
A salamander.
It is a salamander. Have you seen one of these before? Do you know what kind of salamander this is?
Yeah, it's a red one.
It is red, but it's called a newt. A newt. And they lay their eggs in ponds like this. Here's a really big insect that lives in the creek. Have you seen one of these before? Look at that. Now you don't want to hold this because he bites.
A place for newts and toe biters deep in the Santa Monicas. Of course, there are characteristic species in each of California's major bioregions. To know the names of those plants and animals and begin to think of them as familiar friends is to feel a little more at home wherever you may be. California's coastal wetlands, too, have their characteristic plants and creatures, not to mention sounds and odors. The mist and ooze recall the very origins of life itself. Malibu Lagoon State Reserve preserves one of Southern California's last remaining coastal wetlands. Los Angeles County has lost about 90% of this habitat, and even this protected lagoon is feeling the impact of wastewater discharges and sediment load. Jean Dillingham is a science instructor and a teacher of teachers. The scarcity of natural wetlands in California has led her to develop special teaching methods. She wants children to understand the delicate web of life in the wetlands, a web that includes all kinds of living things, plants, fish, birds, and people. Many schools use this park as an outdoor laboratory, but Jean gets her students to care about the places and the creatures they observe, imitating the habits and the characteristic movements and manners of certain wild creatures. She sort of dances the kids into the life of a place. Here's the egret.
Pulls it back like this, opens its beak, stabs and grabs it. Staghorns open and
The Central Coast bioregion is far enough from Southern California that the air tastes different. The sea feels colder. The light tinges everything with warm and subtle colors. Places like this are beautiful and unique. Their unique features help us understand where we are in the world. Here, for example, on the edge of a vast continent facing the western sea and the setting sun, coastal redwoods find shelter in moist canyons. Their ancestors migrated here from other parts of North America millions of years ago. Ranger Devin Williams is helping these young people see the forest here at Butano State Park. He's part of a contingent of staff and volunteer naturalists ready to assist teachers and their classes.
That's a good point. In the redwood forest, there's not a lot of food for animals, and so you don't hear a lot of birds or see a lot of animals down in here. Watch your step. There's lots of things you can trip on here. We've got a little big log here. Oh boy, let's check this guy out right here. What is this guy here? Does anybody know what this is?
Slug.
It's a banana slug. Why do they call him a banana slug? How did he? Because he's yellow. What else is yellow that we eat? Bananas. What else? Is he kind of long like a banana?
Yeah.
Everybody has to touch the banana slug. What does that feel like? Slimy.
It may be slimy, but as a scavenger and part of the web of life, the banana slug plays an important role here in this forest. But these trees, meeting them, walking through the solemn quietude of a grove of giants, is like coming face to face with the oldest, wisest residents of some ancient civilization. Less than a mile from Butano State Park, the coast is rugged and wild, primeval. This wild and primitive feeling hits everyone who visits Ano Nuevo State Reserve. The great creatures that live in the dunes and protected beaches of this wind-driven point make up one of the most dramatic wildlife spectacles in all of North America. Even before you reach them, you can hear their characteristic barks and growls. Northern elephant seals, amazing animals. The biggest ones, adult males, can weigh as much as 6,000 pounds. Even young males like these can weigh 1,000 pounds.
See, now he's going to come toward us. He's a pretty funny guy. Looks like jelly or jello.
Gets that far.
Let's watch these guys. These are northern elephant seals, the girl elephant seals.
Oh,
Did you just hear that sound?
yeah.
What was that sound? Was that a burp from an
No.
elephant seal? Well,
Funny, fascinating animals. Even cute, but they're deadly serious about survival. When the adults are here, breeding, calving, fighting, there's a lot of aggressive posturing and bloodshed on this beach. Even these young males spend a lot of their time playing around, pretending to fight. In the early part of this century, these animals were hunted to the edge of extinction. But a few managed to survive, and today, with protective laws in place, they're making a comeback. Not every region in the state is blessed with such dramatic creatures. Most places in California are far more subtle, quiet, harder to notice and understand. One interesting way to learn about California is to see this land through Native American eyes. Matiwaya regularly brings his understanding of native waves to park visitors in the Santa Monica Mountains.
This is an acorn. And we break the shells open and we take out the meat inside. This is the meat. But before we eat it, we have to take out the acids in it. See this running water right here? We hold these in these baskets. These baskets are made out of grass that's out here too. Everything you see here, we find all around the natural areas. Hey, 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 ungawa. Hey, 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 ungawa.
California's many state historic parks provide unique windows into the past. They help us visualize how people lived here in our land at other times. Like our nature parks, they are living illustrations of human change, offering ways to bring life to classroom studies. La Purísima Mission State Historic Park, for example, is the most thorough and authentic reconstruction of a Spanish mission in the American West. Thousands of school children visit here each year. As a teacher or parent, you can help your students discover California, the real thing. Help them get to know the bioregion where they live. For starters, you might schedule a class visit to a nearby state park. You might even set up an overnight experience. Have your students participate in an environmental living program. You can also encourage your students to become junior rangers. Wherever you live in California, there's probably a state park or a state historic park or a state recreational area nearby.
Oh boy, let's
Get to
check
know
this
it.
guy out right here.
Use it to understand the bioregion in which you live.
It's a banana slug. Why do they...
The rainforest and the Antarctic can't provide better laboratories than these places, many of which are only a short drive away.
They have to get some water.
Okay, they need to be in the water. Do you think that they're safer in here than... Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Okay, you're not...
this place belongs to you. These are your state parks, so let's make the most of them, learn from them, and share them with future generations. If we all learn a little more about our natural world, maybe we'll know how to take care of it better. For more information about California State Park educational opportunities, please call 916-653-6995 or write to Coming Home to California, Post Office Box 942-896, Sacramento, California.